Very interesting story. Leo always dreamt of speaking fluent English. He admired those who could effortlessly converse, sharing fascinating stories and ideas. However, a crippling shyness often held him back, making any attempt at real-time conversation terrifying. He felt stuck, longing for a breakthrough in his language learning journey. The thought of starting, especially at home, seemed both appealing and incredibly daunting for him. One quiet evening, spurred by a sudden determination, Leo decided to simply start talking at home. He knew consistent English talking practice was vital, even if it was just to himself initially. His apartment became his private language lab, a safe space where mistakes wouldn't be judged. He felt a tiny spark of hope igniting within him, a new beginning. He began with simple English listening and practice, immersing himself in podcasts and audiobooks. He'd listen to native speakers, trying to mimic their pronunciation and intonation. This passive learning was comforting, yet he soon realized something crucial. True fluency required more than just understanding. Active production was the missing piece he needed to find. To enrich his vocabulary and grasp sentence structures, Leo started English story reading. He devoured simple tales, then moved on to more complex narratives, enjoying the journey each story offered. Reading aloud also helped, connecting the written words to spoken sounds, enhancing his retention. This daily ritual steadily built his foundational knowledge, paving the way. The real challenge, however, emerged when he tried to actually speak. Talking aloud to an empty room felt awkward, almost foolish. He fumbled for words, his tongue tying itself in knots, feeling embarrassed even by his own mistakes. This initial hurdle seemed immense, questioning his resolve and making him reconsider his approach. Despite the discomfort, Leo persevered. He understood that this phase was essential for how to practice English effectively. He started describing everyday objects around him, narrating his actions aloud, even having imaginary conversations. Slowly, the initial awkwardness began to wane, replaced by a growing sense of familiarity with his own voice speaking English. Then came the crucial realization: to truly improve his fluency, he needed to interact. The concept of how to talk to people in pairs became his new obsession. He searched online for language exchange partners, or perhaps even a friend willing to endure his halting sentences. The thought was terrifying, yet exhilarating for him. Through a language exchange app, Leo connected with Maya, a student from Canada also learning his native language. Their first video call was nerve-wracking for him. He prepared notes, anticipating every possible question, but still his mind went blank. Yet, Maya's patience and encouraging smile helped immensely. Their initial conversations were slow, filled with pauses and hesitations. Leo often struggled to find the right words, resorting to simple sentences, feeling frustrated with his limited expression. Maya, however, was incredibly understanding, never rushing him, always offering a helpful phrase when he was completely stuck. This was invaluable support. With each passing day, and every scheduled chat, Leo felt a tiny shift. His mind started connecting thoughts to English words more quickly. The fumbling became less frequent, replaced by a smoother, more natural flow of speech. This consistent English talking practice was truly making a remarkable difference. They started sharing very interesting stories from their daily lives, their cultures, and their dreams. These personal narratives made the practice engaging and meaningful. Leo found himself eagerly looking forward to their sessions, not just as language practice, but as genuine human connection. It was a revelation for him. Maya often shared tips on how to improve your fluency, like summarizing articles aloud or recording himself speaking. Leo incorporated these techniques into his solo practice, noticing immediate benefits. His confidence grew with every successful sentence, every correctly understood nuance in their conversations. He also learned the importance of active listening and practice during their calls. He wouldn't just wait for his turn to speak, he truly engaged with Maya's words, asking clarifying questions. This improved his comprehension skills dramatically, making him a better, more thoughtful communicator in English. From mundane topics, their discussions expanded to current events, hobbies, and even complex philosophical ideas. Leo found joy in expressing his opinions in English, realizing the language was no longer a barrier but a bridge. He was learning not just words, but how to think in English. His newfound English fluency began to ripple into other areas of his life. He could understand foreign films without subtitles, read international news, and even confidently navigate travel plans. The world felt significantly larger and more accessible to him now, thanks to his dedication. Beyond language, Leo cherished the genuine connection he formed with Maya. They became true friends, united by their shared passion for learning and cross-cultural understanding. This human element transformed the arduous task of language acquisition into a truly enriching experience for both. Looking back, Leo realized the journey wasn't about perfection, but persistence. Every stumble, every awkward pause, was a step forward. He understood that learning English was a marathon, not a sprint, requiring continuous effort and a positive mindset. He had come a long way. The initial decision to start talking at home, no matter how small or insignificant it seemed, was the pivotal moment. It laid the groundwork for all subsequent progress. Without that brave first step, he might still be dreaming instead of doing, trapped by his own hesitation. He established a daily routine, 15 minutes of English story reading, 10 minutes of listening and practice, and at least one dedicated session of English talking practice, either with Maya or by recording himself. Consistency was the silent engine driving his progress forward. Leo learned to embrace mistakes, viewing them not as failures but as valuable learning opportunities. Each correction from Maya, each rephrased sentence, deepened his understanding. He stopped being afraid of sounding imperfect, focusing instead on clear communication, which was empowering for him. He recognized the power of integrating diverse learning methods. English story reading built his vocabulary, listening improved his comprehension, and crucially, how to talk to people in pairs refined his speaking. Each component reinforced the others, creating a holistic learning environment. Maintaining motivation was key, and seeing tangible progress fueled his determination. When he could effortlessly express a complex idea, or understand a subtle joke, it reaffirmed his efforts. These small victories kept him going, pushing him towards greater fluency and confidence. Leo often thought about his early struggles and wanted to share his insights. His primary advice: start talking at home, immediately, even if it's just mumbling. Any exposure to your own voice speaking English is beneficial, building comfort and confidence from within. He also strongly advocated for constant listen and practice routines. Immersing oneself in authentic English content helps internalize natural rhythms and expressions. It's not about rote memorization, but about absorbing the language organically, through repeated exposure daily. The entire process transformed him, not just linguistically, but personally. His confidence blossomed in all aspects of life. He discovered a newfound courage to step outside his comfort zone, understanding that growth happens precisely there, in unfamiliar territory. His very interesting story of learning English became a testament to perseverance. He often shared it, inspiring others who felt stuck or intimidated by the language barrier. His journey proved that dedication, combined with smart strategies, yields remarkable results for anyone. Patience, he discovered, was not just a virtue but a necessity. There were days of frustration, where progress seemed non-existent. But by reminding himself of his long-term goals and celebrating small wins, he managed to stay the course consistently. Gradually, his mindset shifted from learning English to using English. The language was no longer an academic subject but a practical tool for communication and connection. This change in perspective made the entire process more enjoyable and less like a chore. He continued to discover new resources for how to practice English, from online forums to virtual book clubs. The internet offered an endless array of opportunities to engage with the language and its speakers, expanding his learning horizons continually. His passion for English story reading deepened too. He found that reading not only improved his vocabulary but also broadened his understanding of different cultures and perspectives. Each book was a new adventure, enhancing both his language skills and worldview. The magic, he concluded, lay in consistent English talking practice. It was the act of producing language, of actively engaging his mouth and mind, that solidified his understanding and built muscle memory for effortless conversation. No substitute existed for this. He often encouraged others to embrace how to talk to people in pairs. The accountability and immediate feedback from a partner were invaluable. It transformed solitary learning into a dynamic, interactive experience, making it far more effective and enjoyable for him. Sometimes, Maya would ask him about his native language, and Leo found himself explaining grammar or cultural nuances in English. This act of teaching unexpectedly sharpened his own English skills, forcing him to articulate complex ideas clearly and concisely. He also practiced visualizing success. Before each conversation with Maya, he would mentally rehearse phrases and imagine a smooth, confident interaction. This mental preparation helped calm his nerves and set a positive tone for his actual speaking sessions. Over time, Leo wasn't just imitating, he was finding his own voice in English. He started expressing humor, sarcasm, and nuanced emotions, something he thought impossible before. The language became an extension of his personality, not just a set of rules. He learned to celebrate every small milestone, understanding a complex sentence, correctly using a new idiom, or effortlessly carrying a conversation for 10 minutes. These little victories were crucial for maintaining his motivation and reinforcing his progress daily. He also realized he was part of a vast, global community of English learners, all striving for similar goals. This sense of camaraderie, fostered through online groups and forums, provided additional support and inspiration, making the journey less solitary. To avoid burnout, Leo made sure to balance intense study periods with relaxation. He didn't force himself to practice when exhausted, understanding that rest was equally important for learning and retention. Sustainable progress was his goal, not quick fixes. He found that consistent short bursts of practice were more effective than infrequent long sessions. 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there, added up significantly over time. This approach made language learning feel less overwhelming and more manageable daily. Through conversations with various people, not just Maya, he adapted to different accents and speaking speeds. This exposure was vital for real-world communication, preparing him for the diverse English-speaking world. His ears became finely tuned to subtleties. Now, Leo wasn't just learning English, he was living it. He planned a trip abroad, confident in his ability to communicate and connect with locals. His language journey had opened up a world of possibilities he never imagined possible before. Even with significant progress, Leo maintained his commitment to ongoing improvement. He knew fluency wasn't a destination but a continuous journey of refinement. There was always more to learn, new phrases to master, and different contexts to explore daily. His message to aspiring learners was simple: start where you are, with what you have. Don't wait for perfection. Just start talking at home, listen intently, read widely, and most importantly, find opportunities for English talking practice with others. The entire process was about more than just language acquisition, it was about personal growth. He became more resilient, more adaptable, and more open-minded. Learning English had truly broadened his horizons in profound, unexpected ways. It was indeed a very interesting story of transformation, proving that with dedication and the right approach, anyone could conquer their language fears. Leo's journey was a beacon of hope for countless others on similar paths, struggling with fluency daily. He strategically integrated English practice into his daily life, turning mundane moments into learning opportunities. Commuting became listening time, chores involved narrating actions, and evenings were dedicated to conversations. Time management was crucial for his success. Setting small, achievable goals also played a significant role. Instead of aiming for perfect fluency, he focused on hold a 5-minute conversation without stopping or read a chapter without looking up words. These specific goals kept him motivated. He diligently practiced self-correction, reviewing his recorded conversations to identify recurring errors. This analytical approach, combined with Maya's feedback, accelerated his progress. He became his own stern but fair language coach, always seeking improvement. The boost in his English fluency had a profound ripple effect on his overall confidence. He felt more capable, more intelligent, and more prepared to tackle new challenges in all areas of his life, both personal and professional, without hesitation. Now, Leo looked forward to new adventures, knowing his English skills would be a valuable asset. He envisioned international travel, diverse friendships, and professional opportunities that were once entirely out of reach for him, filled with exciting potential. He often felt immense gratitude for the journey, for the patient partners, and for the countless resources available. It was a testament to how accessible language learning had become for everyone willing to put in the effort, even from home. The enduring lesson he carried was persistence. No matter how daunting the task seemed, or how slow the progress felt, showing up daily and consistently putting in the work was the ultimate secret to success in language acquisition and beyond. Leo's story became a truly inspiring transformation, demonstrating that fluency isn't about natural talent but consistent, deliberate practice. His journey offered a clear roadmap for anyone aspiring to master English, beginning right at their own home. He became a powerful advocate for immediate English talking practice, no matter how imperfect. His belief was simple: the sooner you start speaking, the sooner you'll truly learn to communicate effectively and naturally with confidence, opening doors. And so, Leo's very interesting story continues, a testament to the power of commitment, the joy of connection, and the endless possibilities unlocked when one decides to truly learn English and actively listen and practice, embracing every step.